Okay, good morning for those of you that are here already. I didn't get the recap out yesterday. It's made, but we're having technical difficulties with the sound matching the video. We did it a little bit different way, so I'm hoping to get that out today. Yesterday ended up being over $500, and I came back and traded it. It was seemed an easier day than usual to trade the strategy. I don't know why that is, but it ended up pretty good. Anyway, this is the professor with Day Trading for Success. For if you're new here, I'm glad you're here joining us live streaming. We are trading a particular strategy for scalping, which is basically based on a retracement of large caps and mega caps, looking for support and resistance levels, and then using the indicators and price action to go in and out of short-term trades. Short or long, but that's basically what you can expect to see here today. So guys, opening up the scanner today. This is the scanner that we're using, of course. That's specially coded to find stocks that are moving. This is not the right one, so let me just see if I can get this to do this. Moving 1,000 in volume 100,000 in volume in 1 minute. See if this looks like this is the right one for this part down here, the columns. So obviously we want one that's easy to borrow. Most of these large caps will be that way. We want an ATR that's greater than 2, so we're getting a pretty good range, right? This is the percentage it is from the high. This is a special code put in. And then this is showing you over a 1-day period and then over a 10-day average period if they've averaged over 100,000 in volume on a 1-minute candle, which makes it easy to trade. And then this is showing you the share size and stuff. So you're not going to see anything weird over here like you're trading a momentum stock where the same shares are selling over and over and over again. We're not looking for that kind of an action here. So this is scanners available at the $1 Million Margin Club if you don't have it, or you can just see what I pop up here when you trade with me live every morning. But we're usually the usual suspects. We kind of moved around yesterday to three stocks, AMD, Tesla, Apple. I don't think we traded Nvidia yesterday. Apple's still going up again today. Yeah, 221. So it's gone up since the close. And then Nvidia hit an all-time high yesterday, 183, which is good. So we're going to go over the news for a minute before we start to set up the charts real quick. So general news Charlie's put together for me here today is chip optimism on strong TSMC July sales. Yeah, I was reading a bunch of stories about the chips where our regulations have eased for like Nvidia and AMD and other chip makers, but at the same time, because of the threat, China kind of got on the ball and is really getting their own thing going. So there's mixed messages about how those chip stocks might go up based on the China market, because the tariffs were eased, and then we expected to go just skyrocket. That was the only thing holding it back. But then China kind of made some moves so that it wasn't so dependent. So that's a real quick professor synopsis. So, why does this matter to us if we're scalping? Because we're looking for in and out, right? Just moves. But we also kind of want to know biased. Is it tending to go long today, or is it going to go short today? And even when you have that news, you don't know for sure what's going to happen. So I call it a bias, but it's a bias based on probability, the best probability that you can come up with. So I always kind of like to say that, I do think if I were to call a bias on Nvidia today, I would say long. I think that China stuff's what China has done to fight against the dominating chip market in the U.S. is not enough to stop this from its momentum. So this is a 10-day, 5-minute chart. First thing we do on here is we set Fibonacci levels. So let's go ahead and remark it. It's been long enough now where I need to kind of start again and not just keep adjusting these. So there's our first 10-day fib. Now I can set the chart for 2 days and see the fib, but I can also just look back the last couple of days and see the high low, and this is it right here, here to here. So we'll go ahead and just mark it, and it's not going to be to the exact penny because I didn't set it that way, because these are guidelines. So we're looking for guidelines. The first thing we do here, while we mark these levels, this is based on historical data. The Fibonacci levels are basically the be-all and end-all of the longest back historical data. At least the formula for it. So now we're trying to create channels based on these support and resistance and see how well they're respected. This fib channel is pretty well respected right here, at least on the post and pre-market. Then you channel hopped up here for a high, and then you went down. Look at how it tapped right there. Now keep in mind, this is where I marked it from here to here, but then look what happened. That's why you want to pay attention to these fibs. The other thing we're going to do is create some historical support and resistance data based on where the stock has stopped and turned around abruptly. So we might as well, you don't want to go too far out of where the price action is here. And since we're way up in the stratosphere, there really isn't many places to mark. If it dipped down to this fib level, this is what we would look for. See how it double tapped there. Let's see how it's smoothed across the next day. Not too well. So this up here would be more likely. That's got a triple tap, and you see tap, 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 and then it kind of hit there and there. So if it got low, that could be well respected before that fib, which I would respect greater than that. And then, of course, this is a pre-market level, but it's all we got there. You got the fib picking up that level. And then if you go over, we're in the price action right here. So that's why, and you got it again right here too. So this is actually, I would drop so I could pick up that next day's level right there to where it spiked there. And it consolidated there. And it looks like it hit it a bunch here. So, we're just shot in the dark seeing, is one of these going to be respected? That's how I would mark out NVIDIA for now. As I trade it, if I was trading it long on an open candle, I would wait for a dip for sure and then go long. But this would not be my first idea to trade at the open just from looking at it. And of course, as you know, I don't recommend that you ever trade the opening candle. Let's reset up AMD as well and see what we got here for consolidation here. So there's our fibs on the 10 days. So let's get those marked correctly first. And we'll see on a 2-day would be really from, it could be actually from up here. Kind of from here to here, really. Guess I'd take that spike. See what that does for us. Again, you don't know if these are going to be respected, but I usually take the fib lines pretty darn seriously because they seem to work well. As you can see, not where we drew the line, but look what happens when they opened up. So how did the 2-day respect? Not too well. A little bit here for sure. Smoothed out there. Here again. And now it's kind of hovering around these two fibs. So do we have historical data here to help us with AMD? Let me see how far back this goes. If I go here, where it spiked way back there, it looks like we're getting some smoothing actions across here. Didn't quite make it there, but that's probably one to watch. Again, if it drops far down, that I don't know, then we're just looking. So that one got picked up again. So if we go just smooth a little higher, that one double dipped right into there and it spiked right there. So that one could be one to watch if it comes down. And then if it goes up, there was a lot of action right here before it turned around. What happened with that level? If you go a little lower, you're getting that too. So this could be respected going back up as a spot where we might want to say, hey, get out, or look for a resistance or look for a support. So this is what I would look at for AMD. Now AMD, this was down in the 160s, low 160s just yesterday, right? So this is probably going to get some profit taking You never know how often traders will trade, but when they're looking at the chart, because really the profit taking would have probably already happened if they were watching it, but I don't know. Now at this point, there wasn't enough of a movement from close to like jump into a lot of profit taking here. So if the chip market's still going up, which I think it probably is today, and the market looks pretty good today, even with this tariff thing. This is the whole thing. With the whole tariffs coming into play, it's like, are we going to get somewhat of a sell-off today? So I am kind of afraid of going long biased on anything. What are we looking at here? So we're still looking at the Q and the SPY's up on a 5-minute overall. Yeah, AMD export restrictions. This is one of the articles that I read, has eased, but then on the other hand, China is on their ball. Or that's just a story and they're not really doing much to stop it. Let's see at Palantir here what we have. Yeah, I'll remark this too. I never do very well with this stock for some reason, but there's our 10-day. So let's get this marked out anyway. So everything is working properly with you guys. Seems like we're doing good. I'm hoping for the day when I can get this figured out where we can chat and stuff so I can hear immediately if there's a problem. So this is a 10-day. Yeah, I was watching, we were checking the latency from it's not so much latency. I mean, I guess it's the way YouTube, it's on the YouTube end, and it was like running between 1 and 2 minutes from when I say something to when you hear it. So it wasn't horrible, but I wish it was like right on. It's just, you can never count on it to be exactly correct. And then some people tell me they're waiting 5 minutes. Well, that's terrible. I do try to announce what I'm doing before I do it. So if you're, I don't think you should be following me anyway, but, I mean, not exactly the strategy, yes, but. So I marked that right there because we're in the area and nothing else here. The fib picked up these, trying to explain to you my logic so you can just do this on your own. Again, this would have to drop way down before any of these would come into play. This is 169, but this would be a level, it's hit it a whole bunch of times right here if it came down that low to watch. And then other than that, I'm probably going to hit one of these spikes here because that is, what does that look like over here? It kind of hit it a bunch there and then hit it there too. That's about the only one I'd mark. I don't think I'd mark that one. Well, I don't know. How did that look over here? Well, maybe. Depends on how desperate I am for potential levels that might help us here. Because again, you might be a winner. There's no guarantee. And some people think it makes no sense to do this. Well, I disagree with those people. You see me day after day how often many of these levels are respected. So everybody has their own thing. This strategy is based on these levels and a large part of it, and I think they do really good generally. They work really well. Okay, so here's the dangerous stock to trade, but often you can make your nut real quick with this. So this is really good in this fib level, but that's a wide channel. You wouldn't want to be holding that for the whole length of the channel. So we can do a 2-day fib here and see what we get. Be like from here to here. Oh, I guess here. Close enough. Oops. Yeah, still way too big to want to try to trade it. It kind of depends a lot on what the price action's like, but this is usually really moving all over. So if I looked here, I can smooth it across the post and pre-market quite a bit right at that close level from 2 days ago, and it's on there right now, so that looks possibly a spot. And if we get into the pre-market here, the fib's picking up the close of day, so that's kind of the only other level within there. Yeah, this is all being picked up by the fib level, so there's no reason to overmark that. And if it drops way down, it's kind of like you want to reassess. I'm not sure how valuable these will be if they're really a floor. I wouldn't even mark them now. I would want to see the price action. As you know, when I trade, it's like what happens as you're trading, and you might create intraday support and resistance levels based on what you see. Okay, so now let's go back to Apple. I want to make sure we had time to set that up. Kind of just starting the whole thing over today so we get a nice clean look. Okay, there's our 10-day. Come on. I try to have a soft touch, and then it, what did it mark it at? Yeah, 44. That's not correct. 2190. Let's change this to 50 here. That's the 10-day, right? Yeah. So 201. All right, so that's marked correctly. And then a 2-day would be like right here, really. I don't know if that's an algorithm, though. I mean, that's just somebody dropped a big... So I don't think I can respect that there. So I think I tend to go back here for this 2-day fib. Right here. And then let's go. Is the open market past that? Yeah, we'll just take it to the top. Again, there's a lot of subjectiveness here, which then would call into question, like, well, who marked it? But you'll find that unless you really do an extreme thing, they're almost all really close to the same area they'll end up at, even on different time charts and things. So you look at it like they're guidelines only, so that's okay. You're just in the area to watch. Like, hey, is it going to stop here? Is it going to be supported here? So look at that area, huh? So that was started in the pre-market, and then it respected it a lot, and we're right at that level now. So that could be a level. It's at 220.43. We're way up now, so it's kind of... It seemed like the general news, it keeps acting like Apple's going to keep going up the news, so this might be one to watch for a dip and then a rise. I'm just generally worried about the news because of what's going on with all the tariffs kicking in Brazil, and it's like trading an opening candle now seems twice as risky till you see what's going on, like you really want to see what's going on. You're not going to happen up here, buddy. We don't want a cat fight in the middle of trading. Oh my God, the studio's become like a cat mecca. I love cats, but when they walk right in front of the screen, I'm a pretty calm trader. It takes a lot to get me. They won't either, but it's a little aggravating. So remember, guys, I am not a licensed financial advisor. Please seek the advice of someone licensed before you try to emulate any of these trading styles. Trade in a sim first. Make sure you get green, and only trade with money you can afford to lose. Just be careful. Again, I'll go over briefly how I trade, and it's up to you whether you want to even try anything like that. I only go in 25% of my position. That's my max position on every single trade I take on this particular strategy. So I'm looking for almost 80 to 90% of my trades. That's where I take my profit. It's just that share size. I never change it. If I were to change the share size, then what I do is I wait for this to start going back in my position. So The only reason you'd want to add to a share size at all is to make a better price point, or you want to make more money, right? Remember, always stick to max loss no matter what, okay? However you do your trading plan, okay? But in my situation, remember, I have lots of custom indicators if you're new here. I have a link to get them all. I also have a link to all the books that I believe in. If you use my links, it helps me, so that'd be great. But either way, get the stuff that you can afford. It helps you. But like, say I took a position and I was long. Say I took a position right here and I went long, and then it went against me, and I'm only in a quarter of my position. I'm looking. I'm not going to add just randomly anywhere, right? But as the price action turned around, how it happened on this candle, right? How it turned around as it's starting to go back up, I'd be looking at the level 2, and then I might add as it's getting, and then I'm going to be right at my, very close to my position because it's springing up as I'm adding. So I lower my price point, so my price point would come down to somewhere here if I added like in this area, because I'd add to exact the same share amount. So I'd be from 200 to 400, right? Then it'd be right there as it's going up. And then it's got me green almost immediately. And then I have to assess, like, did I add just to bail out of a bad trade? And am I happy with $10? Or is this really flying? And now I've got double the share size. So let me hang on a second and make even more money as it goes up. And then since I came down to here, that would have been a decent amount of money. You know what I mean? I hope you followed what I'm saying. I'll be looking at the indicators as well to just see, hey, is it really turning around? I'll be looking, did it hit a floor, like the secondary floor? I went long right here, and there happened to be a support level right where it turned around. I was like, hey, it respected it. So then I go back in and go up. Anyway, that's just a brief idea of how I trade when I'm adding to share size. Look at that, huh? That was a big share dump. Now remember, I do have my my layout super duper sensitive, and everything you can do, every trick in the book I know, and it will pick up what we call shadow wicks, and maybe even the price action didn't go there, but it'll pick it up anyway. See, it's still up here on the level 2. So, I take those moves with a grain of salt. There might have been a way I could have captured that if I was on the ladder, but it probably would have jumped right over it. And how do you know when? Another thing is it's reported all of a sudden. Like, they'll report it. Oh, I don't even want to get into all the tricks that can be done here. That is not, there's a lot of tricks that people think the time in sales is like immediate. You have to do it. It's the law. I hear these people. Oh my God. They get so angry at me because they think I don't know or something's wrong that I'm doing. And they just don't know. It's just like, just because those are the rules doesn't mean the big players play by them, guys. Trade long enough and you'll see that happening all the time. But trying to explain that to you, and it just, if you're set on the fact that I don't know what I'm talking about, there's nothing I can do. So I don't try anymore. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, we've got 30 seconds to go here. I may take a trade here, so I'm going to just see. But really, we want to wait for the 11th minute. I'm going to stay on Apple, as you can see, and just see if I can count on this going up. So I'll look for a dip, but if I don't like the way it's moving, I'm just not going to take a trade. Totally subjective here, what's going to happen here. Here we go, 10 seconds. And then we'll wait. I'm going to wait to see what is happening today and kick this strategy into gear. Like, as soon as I see something. And the bell is off. Everybody's off. Let's see what's happening here. Is it going to go up? It's just going to go down. 220. Level 2 is giving me nothing to read here. That actually looks like it's going to go up. So I'm going to take that on a chance, on a whim. And am I going to be upset? It's just a low share size. So I got 21 bucks. Woohoo! There was a start. Very risky move, really, but not for that many shares. But It did look like it was going to swell up, so I took it. Now you can't really go by this target yet here because those are the 9 candles that are pre-market. It's actually kind of, oh, I thought they were both 24. Okay, no, that just changed because of this candle. So this is just nonsensical to take a trade right here. That doesn't mean I won't do it, but do not follow the professor. We have no guidelines here, so it's too soon. Unfortunately, I come from the video game era where I played and competed in world championships for video games because I was a business owner from when I was 14 years old. I retired very early, not from making money, but I can do what I want to do, and I really like to do things. When I stopped risking my actual life, I wanted that exhilaration, and gaming kind of brought some of that back. That feeling, and just like trading does. I love the exhilaration, and it takes, if you're always in control and you're making money, which I'm 90% accurate, that's great. Making money's fun, of course, but is it giving me the exhilaration if I'm no longer worried, about it all? I mean, I'm not trying to, I'm just explaining a bit of my psyche. So you're probably not in that place. Most people aren't that crazy, like I am. So, one of those, adrenaline junkies. So you probably don't want to follow. You want to wait for the actual strategy to kick in and not look at this stuff. So what's happening with the overall market? The overall market. So let me look at my scanner up here to see what happened with NVIDIA. So it's pretty much staying steady. AMD has gone up. Let's take a look at that. We'll get over there right now and see if we can get some movement here on AMD, although, no, it said it had gone up. Wait, did I read that wrong? AMD 172. Yeah, it's 173 right now. Oh, from the close. Yeah, so from the close. So it didn't go, it's up from the close. That's what the up is. So that's a misreading of that information. Now the whole and half dollar lines are making this a big mess. The ATR is marked here too. That's the half, and the whole of the ATR is up there, that dotted green line. This is the half ATR mark. Highs and lows, red lines. And then you see the market magnet, which right now we should not pay attention to. Wow, so the market is going down. At least the chip people are going down. How about this one? Wow, this just shows way up. Is this actually happening? Or is that from yesterday? This is going up. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. Wow, huh? That's a spike. Not a consolidating thing, but maybe something early on we can catch before we get into the actual strategy. Don't like chasing stuff, but man, that is tempting if it's going to break that half dollar. Is it going to break the half dollar too? Is that it now? Did I come in right when it was done? Yeah, it looks like it. Going down, back down to the even dollar. Yeah, it's falling now. Oh, there it goes back up. I'm going to take that long. I had a chance there. Palantir really moves quickly. It reminds me a lot of Tesla, which is, I probably should have gone in a lower share size to play these reindeer games here. See if I can get that. There's a $20 trade. But I'm actually going to lower my share size, so I have a chance to recover. If it starts to go against me and add into my share size, will be a full 200 will be my max share size on this. Let's see if we can catch something. Whoa, I missed that move, huh? So it still wants to go up. What is the news here? Oh, so that's it right there. So this is might do some big moves right here, guys. So let's see if we can get a retracement, a drawback here of any kind. Does it give me some kind of a dip? No. No dip is forthcoming. There it is. I'll try that at the 71. Took too long to get there. Not what I want. Oh, it's going to break it. I'm going to go in. 98, huh? Not where I thought I would get it. I thought I was going to get it at 91. That's the trouble with pushing market. Now, it might turn around at that whole dollar. I was thinking it's going to break it. So I'll hold this for a minute. I don't think this is done, you know. It's got a big news story, so hurting me now. Glad I lowered to 50 shares. Again, kind of rolling the dice a little bit when you chase something. This is coming above the magnet. That's great news. This is going to push up. So market magnet says we're going up, guys. So let's pay attention to that. And boom, just popped it again. Little springboard there for all this volume price action here. So it seems to be hitting a wall at the even dollar right there. So I tried to catch it a little lower than this. But there it goes. When it breaks, it's going to break hard is what's going to happen. So it's going to suddenly be at 87.20, 25, somewhere in there. And it keeps tapping it, so it's about to push through. If you look at the price action, it's really pushing higher highs there. So once it breaks that level, and we can expect it to go to the next dollar, well, it keeps toying with us. I don't want to get out for a small profit because I'm thinking it's going to really punch. So I'm going to hang on a minute. Now we're chasing a high here. There's no question. So it's a different kind of trading than the actual strategy is here. If you're with me, I don't know how greedy I'll get up here. If it gives me 30, 20, 30 bucks, I might just take it and try to catch a dip. So that's a 17 cents it hit on the ask for a minute. So look right here. This is where you want to look, right? There's our goal, 49. So can it get, you know, near that 49? That would be great, huh? There's 40. Wow. That was a big punch for a minute. I kind of wish I would have grabbed it up there. I was pointing to you guys and showing you guys, and I'm like, dang, could have got it. Might not have picked me up on the ask, I suppose. So got a rejection there. Now it's like, because it broke it and pulled back. Now this is the pullback I would have tried to catch if I had gotten the trade up there. I was explaining rather than watching my P's and Q's and getting the money I should have gotten there. So it's tempting to add to my position here. I want to see it turn around before I do start to turn. There it goes. Okay. So I want to head in for 100 shares there. Let's see if that's going to, all the way up to 94. Man, that was a bad break it gave me there. But now when it punches through, if it does, I'm set for big money. If. Big money? Bigger money? And we're biding the time till we can get to the actual strategy here that we want to trade, which is more of a consolidation strategy here. That's not good news. So I don't like it dropping off there. Let's take a look here how bad my situation is. Still looks like a pullback. It doesn't look like it's over. There we go. There we go. We got 45 cents to go. We're only at 28. Wow. I looked over again. I did the same thing again. I should have got out up there. It's going to swale up again now, please. Let's get up there again. Oh, man. Is that twice I'm going to miss that trade? I'm just going to end up just selling this time. Yeah, all right. I'm not going to play that game. So this is interesting to try again. I'll lower down to 50. See if we can catch a dip. Because it may be consolidating here, which would be outstanding if that's what happens. So 80, 81. Can it drop below that? I'll try that down there. So I got it at 77. I'm going to go for some baby moves here if I can make them. Yeah, that was 11 bucks. Let's see if it starts to punch up and down like the actual strategy calls for here. Again, you should have pretty low share size for this stock. Let me make a tighter range here. Guidelines only, guys. That's all this is. So, you know, I don't know what's going to happen. I would hesitate to go short. I'm looking more to go long, but that's more like my profit line, you know, just because of how strong this is. Now, we may get a full drop off here, but the news, it does have a catalyst to go up. So let's see. You watch your share size on this one because it moves dollars at a time, you know. Let's see. I know I'm thinking about going short. I'm just looking at it like, why are you doing that? It's going straight up. I should wait for the dip is what I should do, and not go short and get caught trying to add to something that may never come back down. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to be patient. I feel impatient this morning. Let's get the market magnet. Looks like it's going to pull it down. Did you see that price action below it there? She kind of snuck in there and slid away. So if we see it coming up here, we'd be more inclined to go long. Let's see if the 187 is going to hold it if it drops down here. This may be the bottom down here now. So looking to buy the bid if I see it swing below. Just it stopped dead right at the 187. That's a sign to buy down there. I'm going to try to get it there. Got it at 04. That wasn't too bad. So now we want to spring back up. So we were up as high as 41, 33-cent move on that. It's definitely consolidating, which is good. It's just really found its spot here. I would think about adding here if it turned around. If it got that low and started to turn around, I would think to add to bring my price point way down. Oh, wow. I would want to buy market. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go in there, 100 shares. It kind of tricked me there. It looked like it was turning around, and then it instantly went the other way. So this is dangerous. We'll see. I might just jump out of this trade for a loss. I need it to show me something here. This could be the beginning of its retracement, so I don't want to lose all of the money we had here. So it is stalling here, so which is a good sign to ride this up. I'm at 92 cents. No, that's not good. I'm going to get out. I'm actually going to take a loss there. I don't like the look of it, so oops. And then it came to my position. Of course. Oh, well. I feel unsafe with Palantir mostly. That's why I got out. So I think we'll come back. I'll come back and look at this. I want to see if we can find something that's not quite as weird in the price action. What I base on is if I can't zoom in on the level 2, evenly giving me the right amounts, then I go a little gun shy of it. I mean, we did okay with it. We made money, but this actually looks pretty decent here. Let's see. I like it when it's near an ATR and a fib. Those are usually respected levels, so maybe this will give us something to work with. Same stories. Nvidia's up $2, but they have really weird action compared to some of these. Tesla's up too. Wow. Okay. Everything's going up today. It's early yet, but you're in a break off. I normally would go an even dollar amount, 176, and an ATR. Boy, that is tempting to go short. What's our spread? 4 cents I should expect to lose. Yeah, so I would have already made a winning trade there. I'm going to go ahead and try that there on a short. Wow, that took way too long to pick me up. That took way too long. Our dip on that is 24 cents on the risk oscillator. Yep, I'm playing against the trend. That delay cost me like 12 bucks. That was a winning trade. That just shot my average in half there. That was annoying. I pushed that button. I was between 8 and 12 bucks, and then it cleared me just it went down to $1.80. So clearly, market on AMD is not where you want to go. I get mad at Thinkorswim, when it does stuff like that, because they're taking that money. They're profiting there. There's just no question. It's Charles Schwab. Those little rascals. Try to pick up on the dip there. For this time, I went in on the bid. I'm going to go out on the ask. At least I profited again. But, often you'll go in on the bid and it won't pick you up. So I'm playing long biased here. I'm going to try to buy the dips and go up on this and try to get us some quick money here. Let me see on this. Yeah, I think I can safely raise my share size here to try to bring this up a little quicker. Let's wait for some dips here. Consolidating mode right off this ATR right now and this fib. So I'd like to see it get in here and not chase it, but let's see. Now we've got the $0.50 right there. Could be a resistance ceiling for a minute. And then we could play off the fib to get back in at the 13 cent. But I want to see what it's going to do. If it's going to keep, stay up there. If it's going to suddenly dip back down below the ATR. Below the ATR is a good spot to get in, guys. So, in my opinion, certainly below the whole dollar, 176. Just may not give us any kind of an opportunity to get back down there again. I'm watching it continue to swell up higher highs on the level 2. The fact that it's hovering around like that is actually pretty good. I tried to get in at 2 cents. Right there. They're going to pick me up? Nope. Yes. Nope. Nope. There we go. And then as it goes way, way down, it picks me up, of course. So at 2 cents, just above the even dollar, hoping that it's not done playing its games here, playing around. So we have a 30-cent target up, which is 60 bucks with this share size, but I would easily be happy with half of that, like right there. There we go, 40. And that is ridiculous. 200 shares you had to hit 3 times. That's why I like alternative routing, which I normally will have set up when we trade large share size, because you automatically get picked up. But that's just ridiculous reindeer games there, guys. Come on. Apparently I'm in a Christmas mood. I'm using reindeer games a lot. So what do we have on the other stocks? I can't remember. What stock did we trade? So we trade Palantir, right? So that was $37. Did we have Apple too? Apple was 21. So we're 58 plus what we're just trading now, which was AMD, right? So yeah, so we're almost up to 170, 86, I guess. So we got a ways to go to get to the 150. But at least we're starting with ooh, good, I like it. It's coming back down. This looks like our baby for consolidation right now. Right around an ATR level, you just can't beat that for support and resistance level, This is just great that it's doing this. So I'll look for a dip below 176 to see if it's going to do it. I'm still going to play it long biased. Or really, if it hovers at the 176 level, yeah, I could have already made a couple trades down there if it picked me up. It keeps making higher highs here, so this is a higher volume on that one, so boom. Yeah, it looks like we want to get it in above the 176, not wait for it to go below it at this point. Do we get a dip down there, or are we done going down that far? Oh, missing the move. Missing the move. So now we're chasing it instead of a consolidation. So, you know, it's better to wait for a dip, but it's just see if it's going to give it to us. I want some sort of a retracement here. It's 15, 12, 5. I'll try there. I have it at 4 right here. Didn't get me. I'm going to cancel that. I think it's going to drop below the 176. Yeah, that's why I canceled it. Now I got it at 94. Whoa! That hurt me. Ba-boom. Is that the big retracement now? Is that what's going to happen? Hope not. So as it crosses back up this fib, I'm thinking about, let me look at the price action here. Is it going to do it for me? To go into half my share size, a little risky right now, the way it's moving. 63 on the ask, 54. Nope, that's not the right way direction, guys. We need a recovery from here before I even think about going to half share size. It's decided that it's hit its high. It's a little early to be doing a big, huge retracement, but I saw the price action going down, and I just thought, oh, it's going down below the 176. I didn't think it was going to drop a whole buck here, so you just never know with these things, right? You never know. We need some real upward move before I even think about adding here. 175, or this fib may be a floor, I hope. Okay, it's showing. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go for that. I went to full share size there. It's a bit of a chance there, but it did show me some multiple level 2s showing it going up. So hopefully it's not a short-lived level. I got down to 69 now, so I'm close to my position. It's just that it's a lot of shares, so this number can look a little tricky. I'm not going to use market to get out because you see what it does for me for market. So if it gives me a burst up here and that fib doesn't stop it, so it broke to 50 cents twice. Now it's hovering to go back down. Everybody needs to jump on it. The magnet's up there, unfortunately, so looking at the indicators, a couple are saying it's going to go up, and then it suddenly fades, so this could be painful if it goes down. Yeah, I really thought, you know, it was a chance going in as it started to go up and didn't give me more. You know, it hit the top of that. Uh-oh, this could be causing me to do a big recovery. A lot of trades to get out of this. If it keeps going down, that's a bad move down for me. Hopefully you guys are watching your max loss. Buy-sell oscillator is turning around on the fib. I'm hoping that that's really going to be what happens here. I'm $1 off position almost, so that's not good. My full share size is 800, which I am not opposed to doing if it starts to recover. Broke the magnet. Not good for me. Let's see what we got over here. I don't really want to swing it. I don't really have a max loss myself. I mean, you know, I suppose I'd think about $500 to $700, but I don't want to think about it even. So break the 175, please. There you go. Thinking about going full position, but I don't want it to trick me again on the fib. So if I went in here, then I could profit below the fib. But if it took a dive, then yeah, I think I'm just going to hold out here to see. I need some definitive action here. Not that. It's going to come back. I'm holding my breath. It's going to come back. Unfortunately, there's a lot of trades here I can't take because of this, and it's nice. It's consolidating right out of my position here. Just below my position, it's doing these nice little moves. You know, basically 50 cents to $1, right? And 75 cents to 50 cents right in here. Lots of areas to make money for you guys if you're not in the trade with me on the wrong side of it. That's a good sign here. It's a good pattern to go up. I'm glad the magnet didn't pull down. So that's what the 15-minute people see. They're the only ones that would want to go down right now. Everybody else is saying go up. The market's showing up. No new news to make it go down. It's still way off of its highs. So everything would mean we should get a good recovery. So let's see. You know, you gotta, unfortunately, you just gotta take chances. You know, that's the nature of the game. Yesterday was a bit easier than this. Never got into this kind of position yesterday. $400 shares, waiting for a move back. Break that $50 up there, will you please? That would be very near to my position if it broke the 175.50 right here. So just takes a little splurge to break the fib, and then we're in the money. Time is running by, though. We were at about $100 or $80-something profit, so we're below that now for all the trades. I just don't like the time ticking by, you know, because if I got out for a loss, I might be able to get green again in, you know, just a few minutes. But the more I let that get up, the harder that would be. Oh, boy, come on. Is that fib going to stop us, or are we going to just keep banging off that fib? Wow, it is really retracing the whole way. Look at it go. It's not a good situation. Ouch. And the room gets quiet. Hopefully nobody's getting... I don't like the fact that the volume increased as it's going down. I need the prayer indicator up right now. Here I thought Palantir was the one that would put me in this position, not AMD. Oh my God, really? It seems like there's news that should make it be doing this, but it's not. There isn't anything new. The market's going down, though, generally. Yeah, NVIDIA went back down, too. Tesla's taken off. So it's going the way of the market right now, which is too bad. Yeah, what start is now we want to break that fib first. I could swing this today, but man, I don't know. That is not what I want to see. That price action is going to pull that magnet down, and there it goes. So the magnet says we're going down. Oscillator says we're going up, but the magnet is going to supersede that. There's the bottom of the magnet again at 174.24-ish range. Going to break the 50 cents. It is. It's just more bad news on top of more bad news here for me. I don't see any sign of a reversal here. Swailing about 20 cents. All right, well, that candlestick action was the first sign that maybe. But look how low the buyers were. I mean, geez. Because that was a couple of Rickshaw Man and a... oh, God, look at that. I'm reassessing that now to telling me that it's still going down. Look at everything is down now. So that's not a good trade. Hopefully you're not all stuck in this thing with me. What would I do here? So, do I think NVIDIA is going to recover today? I do not know about swinging this. I really do not know because of the tariffs and things. It seemed like we were all positive and it wasn't affecting them, but I just do not know. I would be worried about. I'd almost rather lick my wounds and get out of this by scalping than to hold this into a bigger move down. I just, waiting for it to recover. I think I'd rather just try to start scalping it and work my way back, from this. And I don't want it to get too much lower because it'll be harder to come out of it with this particular strategy. So if it's going to give me any kind of a reprieve here, I'm just kind of holding out for a little longer. There was the 10 a.m. All the RV people started trading. That didn't send it up, which meant probably close to 1 million shares just hit the market at 10 a.m. here, 1 hour after the market opened. That's how far I am off my target here, $1.32. It slowed down at least, but another reversal sign on the candlestick patterns, but it's not enough to turn this thing around. God, is it going to break the 174 too? I think I'll take a loss, guys, if it does that. I think I'm a little paralyzed with the price action here. I think I should just take a loss. So you'll see the professor lose if it keeps going down. If it goes straight up, though, I never said that. I knew all the time. It's definitely toying with me there. It's playing reindeer games here by showing reversals. There's the 9 moving average. I could go full share size if it breaks through this big cluster. That's the 20, the VWAP, the 14, the 9, a fib, and then a even dollar amount. It makes me tempted, but see, it's having trouble. Tempted meaning going into 800 shares. Tempted as it goes up. So you're going to break that. I'm very tempted here, guys. If it breaks to 175, look at the way it's going, too. Oh, there was a little indecision there on that level 2. $5,500 shares down there. Second I sell it, of course, it will go straight up. It's getting late in the day for me to keep trading this much longer because I've got to move on to try to make my 5K a day goal. Oh, that's nice. There it goes. Okay, so can it break the 175? It did. Boy, I'm tempted. I'm tempted to push it in here. I'm going to go for it. So I'm up to 800 shares, and now I could get hurt. Down to 38. I'm very close to my position. I will not get out at market. We'll see what it does on the ask if it gives me a chance here. Don't turn it around there. So close. If I hit market, I'll get out, but now with this many shares, if it starts to go down, I'm going to have to get out pretty quick. So flatten and market are the same, supposedly. Just 28 cents off my position, but 800 shares can be painful. Signs definitely say it's going up. That's not good. Yeah, not good. I can't play this game with this many share sizes. Oh, my God. Is that going to recover there, or is that it? I'll have to come back and bail myself out of this. Yeah, I'm going to get out, guys. All right, that hurt. Sorry for anybody that followed me there. That was, it got down to only like under $100 for a minute. And then when you have that kind of share size, that's dangerous. So I will try to recover from this later. I know Charlie just got hurt too, watching me. So that's too bad. Well, you can't win them all every day, right? For those of you new here following the strategy, you're like, was that a strategy? Not really. We didn't actually do the consolidation, it didn't really pan out. Now see if I would be over $1,000 if I'd held that down. So anyway, guys, we're going to try to recover from this little this afternoon. I'll try to record it for you, or I'll just show you the end results, but I got to push on to the next group. So thanks for watching. I hope you didn't get caught up in that, but we can't win them all every day, right? All right, guys, have a good day, and always stay inquisitive and go green out there, and I will see you soon.